A man still struggling with the mysterious disappearance of his younger brother 13 years prior receives a videotape from his mother containing the moment his brother vanishes. Alongside his roommate and a journalist on the hunt for an intriguing story, they return to the scene of his disappearance and uncover the chilling truth behind the mountainous location that has claimed the life of countless others. Now, there is a lot of hype around this movie, and that means that the expectations for it are probably just a little bit too high. And unfortunately, I don't think that this movie ever stood a chance of standing up to that kind of hype. Director Ryota Kondo has adapted his 2022 short film into this feature-length movie with the backing of legendary J-horror filmmaker Takashi Shimizu. And if you're wondering who that is, he's the guy who's behind the whole Ju-on the Grudge series, or Ju-on the Curse series, both of them. And of course, the Village of Terror movies. And he's always had a habit of pushing some new ideas in the J-horror space. Now, new blood is always welcomed in the horror-verse, and Ryota Kondo will make a big name for himself. I can guarantee you he will, but his first foray into feature films is a slight misstep, and that's through no fault of his own. Rather, he's more of a victim of high expectations. Now, this movie is an extremely slow burn, so much so that the first real jump scare, and it's not even really a jump scare, it's just kind of a spooky moment, doesn't really occur until about an hour into the movie. Now, up until that point, a lot of effort has been put into the world creation. I mean, it's crafting a very realistic and creepy world based on our three characters. Of course, we've got the man desperately looking for his missing brother, his roommate who sees dead people, yes, he sees dead people, and a journalist who finds the story about the scenario of the missing child far more exciting than the story she was originally trying to write. Now, this is a very, very character-driven movie, and it's very typically Japanese as well, which means it builds up and up and up very, very slowly. And usually when that happens, though, you expect a pretty decent payoff at the end, but what you get here is an ending that will leave some interpretation completely up to the viewer. Is that frustrating? Well, for me, I would say yes, it is. But there's a lot to like about this film too. The final third of the movie introduces the background ghosts that the roommate keeps seeing, and now the audience can see them too. Now, the first time this occurred, I did a bit of a double take, but then I recognized that it was a nice touch by the director to add a little bit more atmosphere to the movie and try to get the audience a little bit more immersed. I also like that the way that the movie lets the videotape run when they're watching. There's no interruption from any character. There's no dialogue over the top, or doesn't cut into them at all. In that videotape, we follow the two brothers. We learn that there's a little bit of conflict between them. We see them discover the abandoned building, and then we see them play their game of hide and seek. What I just wanted to know a bit more about was what the overall power of that building was. Now, there's some good lore there, and it'll probably make a very good follow-up film if you understand what I mean, because the movie does end with some ambiguity that I'm sure Kondo would really love to have an opportunity to kind of fix up. In the end, though, this is a J-horror movie for people who like supernatural, who like slow burns, and who like a bit of mystery. People who enjoyed films like Noroi or Cairo. This is not a movie for people with short attention spans, who like a lot of blood and gore, or like to be scared a lot. So it's a good film, but it's not great. However, I would really like to see the audience reaction to this movie in about 10 years' time, once Ryota Kondo has made a name for himself and he's got quite a few films under his belt. I would love to compare this to what he's doing in 10 years' time and just to check out his evolution. So, using the patent pending ghost rating, which stands for great horror or stupid trash, I will give this 3 ghosts out of 5. It scores that because I still felt that the atmosphere of the movie was really good, and the way that the tension built is fantastic, and the visuals look great, even though it's presented in the typically weird Japanese widescreen format, which means you get these two pillar boxes down the side. No idea why you do that, Japan. Just use the proper 16:9 format. And there's a couple of other technical issues there that only the nerdy of us will have picked up, such as the glitching in the VHS tape that goes across the whole screen instead of the little bit. But again, that's the nerdy stuff, doesn't affect the whole film. It's not a bad film. If you can find it, enjoy it. It's probably more akin to Ride My Car than The Ring, if you catch my drift. Anyway, I am the Artie Dans. You are watching Shockmania. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. Subscribe, like, all that other shit.